Hello. This is Dr. Nadine with Magnificent Smile, and it's been a day or two since I have come out and done a video. And so much has been shifting and changing that I just wanted to talk about the difference between the year of the snake, which was all about shedding, and the year of the horse, which is about forward motion and forward movement. And if you're on my mailing list, you'll know that for the last 2, 3, 4 mailings that we've been talking about, here are the characteristics of what you've been doing in the year of the snake about releasing, shedding, so that we can each step into the year of the horse, which again is about movement, flow, ownership of everything that you're doing. So this video is going to be a little different in the fact that I've been on my own journey. Each of us are on our own journey, but mine has taken on a couple different things around my mouth. And as a naturopath, we have everything we need inside ourselves to heal. When we ask questions, when we ask the right question, we bring in, hi, sweetie. When we ask the question, we bring in our next teacher, if that makes sense. So travel with me a little bit. This video is going to weave a little bit to tell a little bit of a story. And part of me didn't, excuse me for a moment. Hi, come on up, say hi to everybody. This is Little Bear, and we're talking. So because we're talking and you're here, he definitely wants to be part of the session. And for those of you who actually do healing work with me, he's part of every single healing session we do. And this healing session is about Mom. So thank you for allowing him to be here. So getting back to this journey, this personal journey, I haven't had medical insurance since 1994. And a couple years ago, I took on a part-time job that allowed me to pay bills, number one, help financially, but it also afforded me some medical dental insurance. And in that process, I had a new dentist. I had just a different environment, and they took 3D images of my mouth. And it's the first time that a different viewpoint, if you will, right? I could see what was going on internally. And I think I started talking this before a little bit, popped up. But as a naturopath, you study, reflexology, you study hands, you study feet, you study eyes. And there's every part of your iris that goes to every organ in your body. Same thing with your hands and your feet. There's reflexology that goes to every organ in your body. So I was curious as if there were reflexology for teeth. And if this video allows me to, I'll pop a picture in. If the video doesn't allow me to, I highly recommend you go out and Google teeth reflexology. So for me, I was not shocked, but it's a different viewpoint to realize that in this 3D image that this dentist was sharing with me, I needed 5 crowns, and every single one of those crowns went to my gut health, which allowed me to then, so now how do I better optimize the biomes, the enzymes inside the intestines? So a journey, right? It's been a 3-year journey. I started this process in the year of the dragon and then shifted into the year of the snake, which again was all about shedding, letting things go that no longer served. So in the course of that process, and I may not have my dates correct, but in the course of that process, I broke a tooth, a molar. So in addition to the molar having to be fixed, the crowns that having to be fixed, my night guard broke or didn't fit anymore. So I had to have a new night guard made. And, this is my night guard. And when the guard was made, I wasn't paying any attention to the design, right? It fit. I sleep better. I grind like crazy in the middle of the night, but I wasn't looking at the shape of the mouth. I wasn't looking at what was going on with the teeth. But fast forward, I had a conversation with my sister, and she's older than me. I'm 64. She's older than me. And she had 7 teeth. She lost 7 of her upper teeth. I have to tell you, we came from an environment that we weren't exposed to medical. I have a lot of tetracycline stains. I have a lot of damage in my mouth from the dentists that were provided to us in another country. But seeing that she lost 7 teeth, knowing that the father had false teeth all my life that I knew, coming to find out from my sister that the mother also had false teeth, I went back to my dentist and I said, okay, you have this new technology. I would like to know. So I'm asking a question now, right? See the difference? Before I wasn't asking, but now I'm asking the question. What do I need to do for my mouth to get my mouth current so I don't lose 7 teeth, right? See the difference of the question? And he brought out my scans again. And it was this whole journey about alignment of teeth. And I couldn't hear that right then. 5 crowns. I heard the 5 crowns. I heard the broken tooth. I heard the 5 crowns. So over the course of, again, the year of the dragon, the year of the snake, and the year of the horse, because, this happened earlier at the beginning of this year, I managed to get the molar fixed and 5 crowns. And there was such a sense of relief, of ownership that, wow, I did something really, really wonderful for myself, for my mouth. My crowns are healthy. Kind of feel like royalty now, right? Now, that's not the only crowns that were there. I have many crowns, but I needed 5 more crowns. And I came back and my teeth are so stained from the tetracycline. I have lines across my teeth because of the tetracycline. But, I wanted to know, what else can I do for the health of my mouth? And in the process of that, again, I know this story is kind of moving around, but stick with me if you will. I had a new dental hygienist, and I'd had the same dental hygienist since 2005. So for 20 years, I'd had the same dental hygienist, and she had to shift things around in her own life. So different dental hygienist. And the hygienist asked me a question. She said, are you flossing? Which I had been using a water flosser that pushed water through the tooth. And I told her what I was using. She goes, but is it a water pick? I said, no, this is what it is. Well, we want you to use a water pick. I heard it, went out my mouth, or went out my head. And then she says, what are you using for a toothbrush? And I said, well, I manually brush. So, back and forth, up and down. And her question was, are you spending 6 minutes in your mouth? And I started laughing. It's like, fuck no. Boom, 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 out the door. So she talked about this Sonicare, Philips Sonicare toothbrush, and that it had 6,200, brushes per minute. And I, again, let it go in, let it go out. Got home because I had had an experience with an electric toothbrush in 2003. Like, now, come on, guys. I know we're in 2006. Nadine should be moving forward, but a lot of trauma to my mouth. And so if there's one place in my life I've been really reluctant to step forward, it has been with my teeth, with my mouth. You don't come near my mouth and cause me pain. If I have to feel what you're doing and you hit one of my roots and I go flying through the air, we're going to have a come to Jesus moment, right? I'm sorry, I'm just not about trauma. So I came back home and I looked at the quote electric toothbrush that I had purchased when I lived in Colorado Springs. And it was one head the size of your little finger. And I remember, I was fine on the outside of the teeth, but the moment it came to the inside, I couldn't handle the tickling. I couldn't handle it on the roof of my mouth. I couldn't handle the gag reflex that happened for me. So I stopped using it. Well, I called my old dental hygienist and we're having this conversation and she goes, Nadine, and maybe she mentioned the electric toothbrush. But again, at that time of my life, I didn't have that awareness. I wasn't asking the questions. Here's the conversation with my sister losing 7 teeth. I'm asking the question. So because I ask, I'm taking full responsibility now for what I'm doing going forward. So I looked up, Googled the Sonicare, thing, read the 62,000 beats per minute. I ordered it. It came in. And I used it the very first night it came in. And I gotta tell you, see all my resistance, right? I gotta tell you that within the first use of that toothbrush, and it had 2-minute cycles, I spent 6 minutes on my teeth. Never done before, right? But my process is I soak in a tub before I go to bed. I soak in a tub when I get up before I go to work in the morning. That is my time. So I was massaging my mouth, and outside of the dental hygienist cleaning, it is the cleanest my teeth have ever felt. I'm like, whoa, there's something about this brush, right? So I kept using it, obviously, because it was wonderful. And I didn't bring the brush in, but it's a Sonicare, whatever, the latest version. It's purple. I wanted purple, 6500 series, something like that. If you're interested, I can definitely share what I purchased. But it had 3 settings to it. It had a clean, it had a sensitive, and it had a whitening. Now, again, you got to understand, there's been so much damage to my mouth. I never smiled. If I smiled, I'd put my hand over my mouth because of the stains on my teeth and the lines across my teeth. But I thought, I'm going to try this whitening thing. I didn't believe anything about it. Well, I did the whitener, went and, did this to my teeth in the mirror, and I was blown away that on the very first use of the whitener of the Sonicare 62,000, beats per minute thing, 30% of the stains were gone from my teeth. And I'm like, whoa, okay, what are you going to do? So I'm smiling, I was just like, oh my God. So I can honestly say this is March 25th. I'm in my 2nd month of using my Sonicare. In the first month, I did the whitener 5 processes, like 5 different times. I don't know how many, I was on each thing, but I focused on these front and the bottom. And I can honestly say, I'm going to smile for you. This is the whitest my teeth have been in my adult life. Yeah. Oh my God. So white as my teeth have ever been. So I'm really pleased with the fact that, number 1, I asked the question. Number 2, I went back and said, hey, what more can I do? So we shifted from the year of the snake, letting things go that don't serve, coming into the year of the horse. It's all about choice, forward movement, freedom, consciously making choice. And I went, I had my last crown done. And again, I'm back with my dentist and saying, all right, my sister, again, 7 teeth, here I am. We've done these 5 crowns. I still grind really bad at night. So we talked about the difference between aligning my teeth to take the pressure off of where I was grinding. Because again, I broke that molar in the middle of the night because I was, clenching down so much. So I had never really paid attention, to my teeth. It was just, there was other things to look at. But here I am, 64. I am getting my teeth aligned. What does that mean? For other people who did this earlier in their life, they wore wire braces. I'm choosing to do a process called Invisalign. Today I'm what day of the week? This is Wednesday that I'm making this video. I have them put on or the what's called the buttons will be put on Monday. And the question is, how long do you wear these? And my dentist wants me to wear them 24 hours a day. I'll take them off to brush and floss, or water pick, because I went and got the water pick and it is not even close to what that little thing that was shooting through my mouth. That shooting through the mouth was better than doing nothing, but the water pick, oh my God, goes around the tooth, in between the teeth. I've already started moving up the dial from level 1. I think I'm on level 4 right now, but there's, a total of 10 levels. I'm not at a level 10. I'm not going there yet. I'm on level 4. I'm really proud of level 4 and spraying water all over the thing. But on Monday morning, the 30th of March, I will be doing the next step of this process. And part of me wants to video this for my own self. If after I edit, I feel like, wow, maybe this can help someone else, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to share my own journey, because for me, there's a 3D image that you get. And when the dentist started showing me, he says, I'm not going to let a machine move your teeth. I'm going to move your teeth and position them so that you'll have the optimal mouth. And as he started moving my front teeth, all of a sudden I'm a little kid. I'm 6 years old, and it's when I lost my sexuality. My sexual abuse started when I was 6 years old, and there's been so much damage to my mouth that all of a sudden, here I am, 64, and I'm healing at a different level of the damage that had been done for years, just for years. So again, I go back to that teeth reflexology image. And when I got home from the dentist that day, where he was showing me what we were going to do with my mouth, I pulled up the image of what these front teeth, and they go to your uterus, your ovaries, if you're a male body, your testes, your prostate gland. Make sense? All the sexual damage that had been done in my mind, my emotions, my mouth. We're changing that. We're changing that. And I'm just so in gratitude for the knowledge and the technology, but the knowledge that this tooth goes to this, that's attached to an emotion, that's attached to a thought that happened when I was really young, So when my dentist says, you're going to wear these for the rest of your life, I'm like, holy hell, I've had this damage for 64 years. Well, take 6 years off of that, but let's just say 64 years I've had this mouth. And if you're telling me for the next 20, 30 years, I can have a different experience, I'm choosing. You're the horse, I'm choosing. It's going to be movement, right? Different kind of movement in my mouth, movement in my emotions, movement in my thought. I'm choosing for me. So this is the beginning. You can see how narrow the front of the teeth are and how just weird. And that's the top. The bottom, I have teeth that are so, out of place. It's going to be interesting. And again, if this video allows me, I took a bunch of before pictures. I had the camera, I had my mouth open. I was trying to take my before pictures because I have an overbite. I have teeth that are way out of alignment. We're going to see what's possible because I'm keeping my teeth. I'm keeping my teeth. Different generation. Back when the parent people were coming through, they yanked them all out. You had false teeth. Again, my sister lost 7 and she's choosing to not go through the process of having implants. I'm making a different choice. Mine is called I'm having braces at 64 years old. So I'm smiling, like, look at me, I'm smiling. So come with me, come along. The only thing I regret is that I didn't take a picture. Again, I didn't want to see my mouth. I didn't take a picture before the stains were gone. Now, are they white? No. No. Do I look like a chiclet kid? No. Will they ever be that bright white? No. But I do know at the end of this process with the braces, we're going to do something about the lines. They said there's something that we can do. It's not veneers. There's something else we can do. But that's way ahead in the future. And my process is going to be 18 months. So I'm going to come back and make a video once I have the what they call the buttons. They put buttons on your mouth so that teeth can be pulled and pushed into different places. I'm going to be part of this journey. If you want to be part of it with me, come along for the ride. And in one of those videos, this one's already a little long, so I'm not going to put it on this video, but I'll recap the 6 elements of the Year of the Horse. These are the 6 elements for the Year of the Horse, and this is February 2026 to February 2027. The fire element is about passion. It intensifies. Once that flickered, now is a huge flame. Your inner light, your inner spark in your life will not be ignored, right? Your inner fire, your flame, the thing that your passion will not be ignored. That's element 1. Element 2 is movement. There's energy. It moves forward. It surges forward. It delays whatever has to be dissolve. What once circled and circled and circled and circled now finds clear aim, clear direction. So again, I'm going with my mouth. We're in movement. Thoughts that I wasn't willing to listen to before, clear focus. I know where I'm going. The third element is courage. There's a boldness that rises naturally. You speak sooner. You act decisively. You trust yourself deeply. I'm not questioning this process I'm on. I'm moving forward with it. Total ownership of my choice. Another element is freedom. The restrictions loosen. Old roles, old beliefs, right? Old thoughts, old emotions, old loopings fall away. You choose expansion over obligation. There's no more duty and obligation, right? It's just not there anymore. Your freedom to choose for you. You live in your heart more. Speed is another one. Acceleration defines this year. And we're in March. We are in March. And I have to tell you, the amount of movement that has already happened for me personally and for those around me since February, oh my God, poof. Decisions come swiftly. When you ask a question, the information is there. Boom, boom, boom. And I have a kitty walking in front of me. Results follow just as quickly in this year. There's a rebirth. That's the last element of this year. There's a rebirth, a rejuvenation. Reinvention is inevitable. There's a stronger version of you that's emerging. It's untamed. It's unapologetic. It's unstoppable. And you're smiling, right? So thank you for being part of this journey with me. If there's information you would like to have, pop it in the comments. I won't see them until this goes live. But once I see them and you comment, you share, this goes to more people so that more people can understand about the elements of the fire horse, the elements of, it doesn't matter what age you are when you are making a choice that helps you move forward in your life. So thank you again for being part of my journey, for allowing me to share my story. I have a feeling that it's going to get a little deeper as we go through because, again, I'm an incest survivor and I'm not being quiet anymore. I'm not listening to those old programs that said, don't tell anyone. It's a secret. It's a secret between you and me. Fuck that shit. I'm done with being somebody's whipping horse. I am done with being silent. I'm finally taking the part that is seen by everybody, my smile. and I'm changing it for me at 64. My gift to myself. So thank you. And if that gets bleeded out because of the sensors, I apologize for that. I'm just not apologetic. So thank you. This is Dr. Nadine, Magnificent Smile. Hope you join more videos. Just thank you. Thank you for being here. Namaste, everyone.